that time, boys. Okay, so let's start this off. Let's talk about the economy today. What's going on with the economy? Why is it taking such a toll? Why is chaos going down? What's going on with Shayula items? What happened to the mathal manipulation on the market? What that's like non-existent now.
I was gonna say I don't know if there is any manipulation from right now, which is kind of weird.
Oh, is he doing a new build?
He was doing the cost breeze. Didn't he do a cost breeze build and it did nothing to the market at all? Or is it he did a cast on curve vortex, but I don't know if he used cost breeze.
I haven't looked in a
Cost
while.
breeze are super cheap. I think they're the lowest they've ever been. Right
Yeah,
now.
I've never. That's why I want to pick one up, just cause.
I picked up a really good one for about 45C, like top end spell damage, good attack speed.
Doesn't
But
he have
if
his own
he
edit?
if he used one and then it didn't influx the market at all, I feel like there's just low player the retention now.
I
I
think
mean,
right now
it's
there's
almost
a
the
drop
last
off.
month of league. Typically, when it dies off pretty quick. But I don't know. I don't have the numbers in front of me, so I'd have to ask Chris. You know.
By feel, I think there's less players on for sure.
I feel like there's a lot less play.
But there's more than there was last league. For sure.
I looked at the analytics and I was saying this and before on Wednesday when that thing came out for Xbox, the amount of views we had on POELAB went way down and there wasn't really anybody on this weekend.
I think it's a knee-jerk reaction.
I expect it to go down, but I expect it to go back up for the weekend. It just kept going down.
Oh, fuck.
I think they should have waited till league was over to announce it. Honestly.
I don't think it really should affect the league that much. I mean, obviously people are going to bitch about it, but as far as currency is concerned, I think it's just bots. I think it's a combination of bots, and I think it's a combination of people not playing. So you have an influx of exalts, so it's kind of flooding the market, and the price is just going down and down and down.
Well, yeah, I agree with that
which is amazing. It's like a stock market crashing. Anytime a stock market crashes, if you're in a position where you can spend a lot of money and buy a lot of stocks, when the market recovers, you're rich. So this is the same scenario. Like the X is gonna go back up. It's not gonna be 40C.
Just based on the demand, because the demand that's always gonna be there is in standard. So that's
just based
why
on standard prices.
Like that's why it's a indirect effect. Like standard still affects league play because a lot of people will actually hoard them for transfers for standard.
I think it's one of the it's one of those they're panicking because there's the X is going down in price. So then people are like flash selling. They shouldn't be, but they are because they're dumb. And then it's gonna recuperate right back.
They haven't seen X to C ratios from like 5 years ago. A lot of the, or not 5, but like 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like
last year.
It'll definitely recover.
Yeah, I expect them to be 55 by the end of the league.
No way. They'll be way closer to 80.
Well,
I feel like they'll match whatever standard is by the end of the league.
That's okay.
So you're saying that it's going down because of less players? Because I mean, it's gaining value.
Less players and more botting.
Yeah, I think
because of that divination card that you can farm in normal, it makes botting really easy.
What divination card?
There's a divination card for exalts that you can farm in normal.
Yep, in the Act 4. I believe it's Act 4.
So you're saying that that's actually a potential problem?
Probably, yeah. They need to remove that card or put it to fucking merciless. Make it a bit more difficult.
Yeah.
If it was a merciless, I feel like it's balanced.
I think it's like 10 cards you get an exalt, but I guess the drop rate's pretty decent when you have 100 bots running them.
Yeah, I think botting is a real big problem in this game actually because I've had people on my friends list. I've taken people off my friends list for botting.
I mean, it is. It's because they say it. Tell them.
Oh well, because they're on 24 hours a day and.
You don't think they're playing?
I play like 24 hours a day though. Like so.
I mean, like no, legitly, like they're playing 24/7.
Oh, you mean the bots are playing 24/7?
Yeah, they're actually not playing.
Like nonstop, like they're in.
Act 3 slums on normal apparently. That card.
And I've actually reported him, and he just still plays.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've heard that a lot. I've heard like people have reported people for botting, and GGG hasn't done anything about it. I think their botting system or botting detection system might not be up to snuff, maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, you're always gonna have people botting, but I want like some sort of like trying to
Especially
fight
on
it.
a
Like it's like
free-play
fighting
game.
crime, you know.
I was
Almost.
gonna
I
say,
don't know,
look at Diablo
I
and
was saying, at one
Diablo
point
2.
Diablo fucking destroyed bots, but
I
Oh,
think that's why
no.
you also see a lot more bots because there was a lot of people who played Diablo and botted, and a lot of Diablo 3 players came over here this league.
they could be botting too. Because I
Yep.
know Diablo 3 was infested
it's-
with bots.
They're,
I botted
I
in
mean,
Diablo 3, so
Hey,
it's,
so
it's a culture of it's a culture of botting that's migrating here.
Yeah, it's definitely coming this way.
well, let's get back
They
to that
have to
card
do
real
something.
quick. If they are farming that card, wouldn't that depress the X value in standard as well?
Eventually,
it is
yes.
lowering. If you noticed
Yeah.
yesterday, it was at like 80. And it was at 90. Now it dropped
Yep.
10 C all of a sudden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's dropped
It's affecting
16%.
standard too.
Okay, Exalt has dropped 16% in the last 7 days, according to Poe Ninja.
That's on standard
16.3%.
prices, right?
The
That's
standard
in
is
league.
4.
In standard, it's like okay,
Yeah.
4.3.
They're at
So
85, 86.
it's
Well,
a
last
se-
night
so
they were
it's a
like
direct
80, I
effect.
guess. 81.
But that's Russians too on there. Like they have a little. It's
I
like
mean,
a different market.
you gotta think of it this way: to
80.
affect
I thought
standards,
that was the red drain.
standard prices, it's gonna take a lot longer because standard has been established for years.
Well, it just started going down.
I
Yeah.
think it's gonna
Yeah.
affect it, but not as harshly, just because there hasn't been enough time.
Isn't there still a
Yeah.
decent bit of people that play standard? Like, I know we
Yeah.
make jokes about standard, but I think that's one of the biggest.
I
thing
think
that people
80%
play.
of the player pool
after
plays
league-
standard.
After the leagues, it's the biggest.
It's like
According,
80% of current players play it. I think is the last number I've seen.
apparently in normal, you can get the Saint's Treasure in the slums, which gives you 2x, and then there's a card that gives you 1x, the Hoarder.
Yeah, that's the one. The Saints, the one in the slums.
Is there a way to see the standard population?
Just the
Uh,
analytics that GGG releases.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
like 80% last time they released.
80%,
I may be
no,
mistaken,
it's-
but around there.
Like 20%
I remember it was a large amount.
is how many people play standard.
The goddess is watching.
Hey, Suit, thanks
20?
for the host, buddy.
I'll be back.
But,
Alright, I'm gonna go and hop off for tonight, so I'll see you guys.
Later.
Later.
take it easy, man. But, well, let's talk about some other things. Like, one of the reasons why I think the Chaos are gaining value, beside of what y'all said, are everybody's chancing headhunters. Everybody's hitting the map device for 8C constantly. And then don't forget your 4C for your Pirandas.
Misery loves company, I suppose.
It's also the player level. Like the average player level, honestly,
Plasma, thanks for the
is
follow,
like
buddy.
the just starting to get their feet wet kind of status. And those are the players that aren't going to be spending exalts. They're going to be using chaos to buy like their mid-tier items to do like tier 10 to 12 maps, like, and that's their push. They're not going to spend a bunch of exalts just to get their gear. They're going to spend some chaos.
Well, you got to remember too that they added in essences, and those have affected the market as well.
Yeah, people are crafting with essences.
Well, that was from last league, though.
But, yeah.
Well,
Now
yeah,
they're
but I
last
mean-
common. I don't really think that's influxing anything right now.
It's not a major thing. A lot of
We're
people
really just kind of thinking about how the exalt prices dropped. I mean, typically when the exalt price drops, that means chaos is getting stronger, which means it's being used a hell of a ton. So that's kind of going along with what Vaj said.
people are
But
actually
just with it
chaos
being
moving
used.
more so than
Yeah,
actually.
well, people are idiots. I get that it's fucking faster, but Scour Alking is literally like 3 times more effective.
How many
like,
players?
currency-wise.
How many
It's
players
about
do you
at
think?
1.5 or no 2.5? Yeah, I guess you're close enough. Yeah, it can be depending on your rate you buy them
I
at.
mean, alchemies are 4-1 right now. Scours are probably 2-1. Yeah, they're 2-1. So it's like it's like 2.5 to 1.
Yeah.
It's
What,
stupid.
alchemy?
The rate.
Yeah,
for-
Scour alking instead of cast spamming.
Oh, Scar
Yep.
Alking, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, it's more efficient for sure.
Way more. People are like herpader, and they just want to be easy, and they don't want to have to worry about trading, which is another problem we have. But we can talk about trading next week.
Yeah, for sure.
That
That's
could
a
be
whole. That's like
thing
a
in
whole
itself.
nother. Yeah, like.
Well, there's a
can of
bunch of
worms there.
there's a bunch of items that are not even taking this price fluctuation into effect. They're just sticking to
noticed
their
that.
10C or whatever they are the whole time. Even though now 10C isn't an eighth of an X, now it's fourth of an
Fourth.
X.
Ugh.
But
think
they
it's
still have it
pretty-
for 10C instead of quote unquote 5C.
Yeah, people just don't like understand, and that's part of the problem too. A lot of people just don't understand basic economics.
I'm back.
And
But
to go with the whole chaos thing, I mean, people are spamming Val Regalias, they're spamming hubris
Well,
circlets.
Here's my
Yeah.
argument on your
That's
thinking
always
the chaos, the chaos thing. We had Parandus the last 2 leagues, and we still didn't have this much chaos. And we've had headhunter leagues before, where people were spamming 8C headhunters. When
It's been a while.
back when Big Chicken used to play, but it still existed. That was the way to do it. I just think it's because, like TPG or someone said earlier, that Diablo is a botting community, and they are good at it. They've been doing it since the 90s. So when you send an influx of people who were solely on Diablo 3 and Diablo 2, and they're like, well, I got this new game to play because Diablo 3 isn't going anywhere, time to make a bot for this. So it could be a mixture of that, and they're not up to snuff to catch these bots yet because of that. I think it is a botting problem.
I can tell you
honestly,
one thing. I mean, I bought it back in Diablo 2, and I bought it back in Diablo 3 when it first, not when it first started, probably when like halfway through when I got bored of it. And I can tell you that it kills the game. I mean, personally for me, that's why I stopped botting in general. I don't bot at all.
Yeah.
And I think that if they are
But-
coming to bot in Path of Exile, from what I understand, there's a pretty good bot for Path. Unfortunately, I haven't really looked into it because I'm just going off of what people told me.
I have no
Apparently,
doubt
it
there
farms
is.
pretty
There
damn
isn't.
well.
I mean,
So-
we saw that guy on Reddit, his picture with his currency, with his 5,000 Cholula splinters. There was no, with like 6,000 wisdom scrolls.
So it's just frustrating that, like, how doesn't GGG have a good way to detect this? There has to be a way to detect inputs. How
There
they're-
is a way, but like we've seen in the past with Diablo 2, way back in those days when they put a new patch out, they would figure out a new way to bot.
Yeah, it's true. There's always a way to bot.
I mean, you just got to keep combating.
They just need to make it as difficult as possible. That's all.
Yeah.
and then
Wait,
like keep. It's just I don't know.
Like, I remember
just think
when Warden came out, there was a huge ban wave, and Warden was the code name for the bot detection system that D2 used.
Oh yeah, I remember.
There was
that.
huge amounts of like there used to be like what are the bail runs,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden after Warden came out, there was none, and then slowly but surely more and more started coming up back again. So obviously, yeah, there's going to be ways around botting, but there's got to be a fail proof. There has to be.
I mean,
I mean,
that's just like
Misery loves
in Diablo
company,
3, the
I
top of the top
suppose.
list. From what I've learned from.
Thanks for the follow, Buck Nasty.
Oh God, who plays Diablo 3? Vag, that was botting. Recon.
Yeah, Recon.
From what Recon was telling me, like the top 100 in Diablo 3 are all botters. That's all they
yeah.
are. Like for the fastest rift runners, he's like, yeah, they're just all bots, and that's how he was up there. So that just shows you once that community came over, I guess you could have kind of seen it. I guess it didn't really affect us, like until like the first few weeks, because it was stabilized. Like the league was kind of stable, like the first month. It's just second month, I guess it's just finally shown
Yeah,
How
over
much?
time.
how much these things can affect the game. And that's why standard's still normal right now, but as like you guys said on POE Ninja, apparently it's starting to affect the prices.
I mean, honestly, it does need to be addressed. Just because eventually it will kill a game. Like,
Yeah, because who's gonna want to play a game where you find an X and the guy with 5 bots has like 80 of them, and he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna make your X worth like 40
Nothing.
C."
Well, one thing I want to know is how are the prices getting set? Like, how are we determining, hey, 1x is now 80C now?
Typically, like the starter prices have always been from vendors, like the
Yeah.
8 chances is chaos because you can buy, like, depending on what fuses are and depending on what regrets are, like all of them have always been charged by
Yeah,
what you can get from the vendor. But now it seems like that's kind of going out the window, and it seems like sometimes even the vendor prices are better.
because it's the way that the outside application, and I just think the amount of influx of farming for low quality materials that people on average typically don't do would lead someone to believe that there is like a third party like botting as a problem, because people don't farm that stuff. They don't
Well-
farm 1,500 alks on average.
I mean, we can see it just for chaos and exalts, though, that there's something behind the scenes happening.
Well, I was looking, every price has dropped except for divines. Like the price on everything has dropped. Like everything but chaos and divines have dramatically reduced over the last week.
I still pick up most of my currency myself.
Yeah,
But
pick
I
up
don't- I
everything
can't-
but Ogs.
But sure, but you don't have people like specifically farming for 1,500, 2,000 alks, you know.
Well, no
either.
one. You can't specifically farm just alks.
Sure, but like, I mean, if you have a bot set up for that, there's potential.
Well, a bot picks up everything though. That's
Yeah,
the
exactly. But you're gonna get all those little scraps and
Yeah. Well, that's like we
Stuff
were
like
saying. That
that.
guy on Reddit who had 5,000 of each currency, basically.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
do you guys
exactly.
think there are any other factors contributing to this beside that and a chaos sync? Well, multiple chaos
Just-
syncs.
They're just the average player,
And
skill level, and currency
Yeah.
usage.
Because you gotta remember, we got a bunch of new players right now.
And they also don't know the market, so they're flash selling their exalts really, really cheap, and the price is just staying that
This
low.
is where everyone's selling it.
They're like, oh, exalts only go for
selling.
42C. This is normal. Cool.
Yeah, sell. And I don't know. It just seems it's just like a problem right now that has to be addressed. That something's happening. Because it's just not. This is just not normal.
I mean, well, what can we do?
Economy.
More chaos recipes?
It's not us. It's something
Nothing
that
we can do.
GGG has to address. Like it has to be something because
I do think there's some sort of botting. Like I really do.
Well, I think builds are getting faster to clear content, so the chances of them getting exalts are way higher these days.
That's true, but
I mean, the speed of builds just gone through the roof.
speed of builds.
Oh,
like
And
that.
another thing that guarantee is affecting all currencies.
Thanks for the follow,
breaches.
W.
The
Yeah, breach.
drops in breaches is outrageously higher than anywhere
But
else.
wouldn't you think you're getting more chaos this way because more chaos out of breaches than you are getting exalts? Wouldn't you think
Yeah,
Well,
that?
for
I've
sure.
never found an exalt in a breach.
But
I've
I'm
never
Exactly.
found plenty of
crazy
chaos.
Yeah, breaches too are a huge
So
impact.
wouldn't chaos be cheaper than normal if that was the idea?
I'm just
If
saying a
people are-
huge influx
if
of
people-
currency.
If people are using, but I think it's so basically like the average player can find a ton of breaches, right? You would say so?
Yeah.
Okay, so the average player finds a bunch of chaos. They're going to think that's the most used currency, so they're going to use that more and more and more and more. And that average player is a huge influx to the population. So that's what they're going to spend. And when they-
Also, if people are using X, that could be an issue, or it could be a thing as well. Or
well,
rather,
that
hoarding.
would make X go. That would
Yeah,
make
after I said it, I realized
people
that's
are
not
using
like an
X
idea.
less.
If people are using X, then it would go up. People should start using X. Damn it!
Yeah, pretty much.
I've
That's
been-
it. People
I've been
aren't-
Xing shit.
I've been
Well,
seeing
yeah.
a lot of people X-slam a lot of things this league.
It's
Yeah,
just
it's
more
our,
than
I
I
think our
used to.
little
farmers-
community.
it's a crafter's market right now. The way the prices are,
Well, it's time
X
to.
slamming things isn't that bad, you know.
But
Yeah.
it's a 40 chaos loss instead of an 80 chaos loss. In a sense, I mean, it didn't get up to 80, but you know.
Yeah, it was like 70 though. It's a very wide difference right now for some reason. But even in essence, where it was the crafter's paradise, X were like what, 70, 60C?
Something like that.
I mean, that was the crafting league, hands down.
Yeah, Essence was. Oh man, I miss those days. Essence was glorious.
That was the. It's just it has to be. It's maybe a mixture of things, but it has to be something that we as a community might not be aware of, but someone has to know something.
You can watch videos on how to manipulate your sexton and stuff, or whatever that is, to get like more currency back. I
Yeah.
mean, there's ways to make money in the game. I mean, it's
But it's not that there's not that it's that many people are doing it that X are this.
Like,
And-
yeah, it's not impacting it that hard. There's something huge happening behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I would just say that
For X to be normally 70C in a league to be 40, like we're talking a huge difference. You're almost talking about half of the margin gone. It's not like 40% of people just figured, oh, I just know how to make
Misery
X
loves
pop out
company,
of
I
thin air now.
suppose.
Divination card.
Dodo Gaga, thanks
Yeah,
for
but how
following
many
in.
people are farming that one divination card? It's not like half the population's farming it right now.
Alright, so here's another thing I wanted to talk about. With Chaos going up in price and Exalts going down in price, in a sense, what do y'all think about all the Kaiula specific items? Because a lot of them have just been going up in price. So I,
Because I think someone's hoarding them a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's like it's just the people who are taking stuff to standard right now are buying it up.
Yep.
For sure.
And then they want to turn it, if they can turn a profit and keep buying more and more. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. They're just getting ready.
I mean, like, look at the Red Dream. I mean, even like the Blessing in Kaiula, I bought one. I think I spent 150C, and I was like, damn, this was like 3x 150C.
Well, actually, it's that one down then.
Now
You bought it
they're
lower than half, so
now they're 190C.
which seems about a little bit higher than it was before, like when it first came out.
I mean, I don't think a lot of people are using them.
I feel like that's a standard buy.
What
build
is?
in standard? Presence of Chayla.
Yeah. That's like that necklace is really good.
That
Upgrade
necklace is
upgrade.
for like if you want to push it to the limit with crazy currency kind of thing.
And in standard with
like the
legacy
best.
shavs, it's gonna
Yeah.
be insane.
Like I just don't see an amulet better than that for low life. I really don't. Like
1,000 ES.
227C for a clean one.
like you can get like depending on you on average you'll get 250, 300 flat off that.
Yeah, it's huge.
Like that's oh shit, I hate Elliot Reflect.
God damn it.
They are 250 in Hardcore Breach. There's only 4 showing up.
Yeah, I'm
For
going
what?
hardcore.
Presence?
Yeah, for Hardcore.
How much
Yeah,
are they in
I'd say-
standard?
Hardcore Breach.
Standard, they're probably like 50x.
Probably insane.
There's 1 for 28 in Standard.
So
Oh,
you're telling me I
oh,
need to buy
close.
Presence of Chayla right now?
I have one.
For
What
the
are they in
most part.
Breach? 4x?
What?
Well, that price
Well,
might drop though when these are
roughly.
out.
180C.
That's true.
Four and a
The
half.
price would definitely drop.
Yeah, when everybody goes to standard, all the ones that are up, there's a 43 that are up right now. But I think last time when I did it, if I bought a Kaiula amulet and then the blessing of Kaiula, then it was cheaper than buying the actual.
Someone made a good point and said that Sextant's prices went up, and someone said that Dicey said Sextant prices got influenced by Norse's video on reshaping the Atlas.
The red ones did. The red
Yeah,
ones
they did.
dropped. The red ones dropped.
Well, they also went up because people were showing them how to level.
Yeah, they were 7C and now they're 5.
And think about all that damn achievement everybody's trying to get. Everybody's spamming them way more than usual. Last week,
Which
everybody
ones?
was hoarding them. All the Sextants. Like, everybody was hoarding them
Yeah.
and waiting for them to update it so that way they weren't so much of a waste when you use them.
Still doesn't really. The only thing that explains Exalts dropping is literally just botting. That's the only thing I can. That's the only explanation I can come with.
To that
That's
impact.
the thing.
To
Yeah,
that impact.
to that heavy of an impact.
Like, to that extent, it's a little like there's how else can you explain it? Like if you have a plausible reasoning, I would love to hear it at that point. You know.
Looking
Because
at
the
the
breaches might have
timeline,
helped a
when did
little
it
bit, but it
when
wouldn't
did
knock
it
it
start
down that
dropping?
much.
So what
And if
happened on
anything-
January 1st? January 1st is when it started dipping like massively.
That's when everybody started going back to school, or not school, work. Because, I mean, if you think about it, there's a
After
lot
the
of people who play this game who are, like, older, you know, over 20 at least. We all have jobs. So, I mean, that's all I could
So
think.
if anything,
Everybody's playing from, like, Christmas to New Year's.
yeah, but then like if people just stopped, just up and quit the game, it would have gone even higher because there's
Yep.
lack of it.
What do you mean gone higher?
It would have gone higher because
There's just less people selling. It'd been supply and demand.
You mean the price? Okay, yeah. So you mean you're saying it would have gone down to like 30 CU?
No,
But
it would have
is
gone
his-
higher.
but-
X would have gone up even more because there's less demand, or there's less supply of X.
Well, no, but if a huge player base leaves and, like y'all said, botting's happening, then who are the bots going to sell to?
yeah,
People
that makes
still buying.
sense too.
And remember, poe.trade made that they did all those bans, and that was recent. poe.trade did.
For what?
They banned a few accounts for market manipulation or something. It was on Reddit.
Really?
Well, it's market
I didn't see-
manipulation.
I
It's
didn't
not.
see that
They can't say this guy was. 100%
No, there was a lot
bot.
of people that were idiots, and they were putting it in their stash tab. This is for market manipulation, or they would have an away message, market manipulation. They were broadcasting it like
That's retarded.
there were actual people that were. I'm not actually selling it. I'm just manipulating.
Yeah, you're not getting
That
the
was
smart people.
Pretty
Put it
common
that way.
actually.
Well, yeah, market manipulation is one thing, but is that like against any terms of service on poe.trade?
poe.trade doesn't have terms of
Apparently not, it
services.
is.
But
Then why would they even
Poe.trade is
ban them?
completely private. It's completely private. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
That's-
I was gonna
that's
say there
crazy.
actually is no terms of service to agree.
it was a big uproar in the community,
Except for
and
them to-
the community wanted something done about it, and they finally did something.
And
I'm glad they
honestly,
do.
PoE trade can really do whatever they want. It's their service that they give to you for free. If they say they don't want you on it, well, you ain't on it. It's a
Fuck
private
off.
website. It's not like you pay for it.
Yep.
Yeah, true, but I don't know. I just feel like banning accounts doesn't really do anything when they'll just shovel it onto another, you know.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely not gonna do nothing. It's
Just-
just.
Refresh
It
your
was
IP
just
or whatever.
I mean, if it was an IP, yeah, all you gotta do
It's
is.
probably not an IP ban. It's probably an account ban. Just make
That's-
another
no.
free PoE account for.
I
Fewer
mean,
buyers and fewer sellers, so it evens out.
it's just something we.
I don't know, Six Samurai. I don't know. One of my viewers said he doesn't think people are using craft that much. I've X'd more things this league than any other league.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it's so cheap.
It's cheap. I've also found 10x this league.
I've only found 7.
How many do you usually find?
I've only found like 3.
What about that?
I usually find like 3 to 5.
I found 2 in like the first 3 weeks, and I took a hiatus from playing. But
Just
I
one
mean,
side.
Uber Lab's really good too for making currency and things like that. But didn't they nerf Uber Lab's currency drop?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
So I mean,
Well,
I'm
not
not recently.
yeah, what I'm saying is like there's built to just solely just Uber Lab. Just you can what's the fastest you can clear an Uber Lab right now?
A couple minutes.
4 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, whew.
All the noobs don't X shit because we are scared. Just do 20 chaos recipes. And that's another thing. Chaos recipes are pretty, like, you know, holding value now.
I've definitely been. I've been doing
Oh,
chaos
yeah.
all league a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even
Well,
want to do Regals.
Yeah, it's better than ever to do it.
What are regals?
Something you get like 180 of for an
Actually, no,
extra 10.
Well, Regal's upgrade a rare to a yeah.
No,
Too
I mean,
unique.
what are they?
What are Regals?
What are Regals?
Now, I believe they're like 2.5 to 1.
A Regal orb is just like a waste most of the time. You're like, oh man, I gotta exalt this thing.
Yeah. See chaos to Regal right now.
1 to 1.
It's like 1.2, 1.4.
Oh wow,
1.25 is the best rate you can get.
damn. Make
Wow.
Regals great again. That's all I gotta
So
say.
Regals are worth less than the chaos right now. Then.
Yes.
Wait,
So you can't even say it's crafters. It's not a crafter thing because then Regals have been up too.
yeah, because damn, if Regals are worth less than Chaos, then there is a
No,
problem.
when I say it's a crafters market, I mean like the currency is so cheap.
Isn't that funny?
Craft.
Like right now, it's in a crafter. Like if
Well,
a crafter will love this market right now.
I mean, you can't say that it's people that the reason the X are so high is because so many people are crafting right now.
No, no, we're not saying that at all. We're
I'm
saying,
saying
the market's
this is the
perfect for
opportunity
craft.
to craft a lot.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's
I
ideal
totally agree with that.
circumstances. Yeah, it's the opposite.
Potentially,
thought
people
someone
aren't
said
crafting,
earlier.
and they should be.
But here's another thing: is like, what if people start manipulating the market just so they can buy it all up? I mean,
People are manipulating right now. There's no
Well,
ifs, ands, or buts
That's
about it.
exactly what they do.
But that would be such a long game with so much currency. Like that's like
But
saying
me-
Illuminati level shit.
what?
You
No,
know?
no. Remember Ziggy's video about the what is it, the bow crafting or whatever that was real big that one league?
Plus
That mirror
Still
craft,
big.
guaranteed plus.
Metacraft.
Yeah, I mean there's a huge group of people that you know what I mean.
Actually, if you think about it, when that happened, wasn't there also a huge dip in exalts as well?
There was.
Maybe something else like that has happened, and we don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Could.
I mean, like you said, the most.
What are the big crafts here going on?
I think the most expensive thing is the Chiula thing right
Oh
now.
no, you remember the well, people were doing the +2 essence too, the fire gems. You're doing that as well. For
Yeah,
bows.
that's died off.
Yeah, that's true. It's not popular meta build.
Hell, look at it, how much Empowers went down recently.
Powers are. Yeah, they're pretty.
They used to be
cheap.
right around what a divine used to be because that's what you could buy them from. What's his face for? But now it's just like divines.
Well, that's just because player population. Like that's plain and simple. That's pretty explainable.
Yeah, level 1 empowers don't usually keep their.
Yeah,
like,
even leveled ones. That's player retention. Like more players, like leveled stuff is easier to sell. Whatever.
Well, you're saying more players are coming in the game, so wouldn't there just be an influx of currency as well? I mean, it's just like
But it should be another influx of consumption. too.
Also, a lot of these new players don't know how to do a chaos recipe.
I think a lot of the newer players are just following these very well written guides, and it's not, some people don't even like to craft, so they'll sell off all their lower currency for the one thing that matters is chaos. They don't
Yep.
have to do chaos recipes, so they just bulk sell it off because it's easier than going to a merchant they might not know about, because they just go to poe.trade and they say, oh, that looks like a pretty good profit for all my chromes, whatever. I don't use them anyway.
What about the Lightwoods crafts? Remember when that happened? With the +2/+1 bows?
Yeah, people talked about that. We just talked about it, I should say.
That was like 2 minutes ago.
Oh, I was just reading my chat. And that was 2 minutes ago.
Oh my god. Rip.
Rip. I'm multitasking.
I mean,
Are
six
you,
links
though?
body armors aren't going for nothing any at all anymore.
I feel
Yeah,
like
that's true.
I don't know. I feel like 6-linking is way too easy,
Easy.
now.
Can be.
I
mean,
literally
it-
6-linked something for like 100 fusings today, and I
Six
bought
things,
like
multiple
I
things
bought
for
like
under 100,
500.
but one also took 2,700, so it all
Sure.
evens out. It's gonna eventually you're gonna hit a piece of armor that's just gonna take thousands of fuse, and it's gonna all equal out.
Or just quit and then you're quit while you're ahead. You just made ahead and like Maybank. Like you got like the multiple ones. All right, for under 100. All right, I'm done. I'm good. I'm way ahead on RNG right there.
Yeah, me trying to six now is probably not a good.
Well, remember they also did where you no longer had to put more armor scraps on it to get it quality. So
Yeah, I know, but
People
I'm
are
talking
spamming it
this
a lot better.
league alone. It took me 2,700 fuse to 6-link a per.
Yeah.
But then the next 4 pieces of body armor took me less than 100. All regalias, all regalias.
I'm still trying to 6-link mine. Be quiet.
I 6 mine today, and then I literally resold all the fusings that I had just bought.
And speaking of which, Cosby's Malice are super low right now. Like, oh my gosh.
Well, COC isn't as good as it used to be, sadly.
It's not even COC though. Like you don't play it like traditional COC.
Well,
Like
it's not
there's a-
really
Sergeant Killer,
flavor. Cosby's Malice 45C. I mean, it's not big flavor.
but it was 3.5 earlier in this league though. That's the thing.
Well, I mean, look at the Beanos.
Well, it was like
Well,
14
Beano's
in the
is
beginning.
trash. Like Beano's is not that good.
Yeah, but still,
But
what
then
I mean?
again, it
It
was
was-
like 3x in the beginning
It
of
was
this league.
way overpriced at the beginning.
For sure, but so was Death's Hand. Like we knew those were gonna drop. I didn't expect Cosby's Malice to drop to the point of it where it's just okay, I'll pick one up.
That's
Like
terrible.
at Zere's favors are at 6x. I've never seen them at 6x before. Like
They're like these
Like-
Cosby's Malice are like 3x in standard.
like The series' favorite last league was 9x at the end of the league, 8x. Now they're like 6, and they're just dropping.
So you want to like quintuple your money by Costa Rica's Malice in League, bring it to
Pretty
standard.
much.
British company, I suppose.
The taming is super
130.
cheap.
Poker Kid and thanks for the follow.
I think it's just. I think that's because how strong poison double dipping that more people are doing Uber than ever. Honestly.
Yep, that's true.
And like, I mean, as we go on, uniques are getting better and better. Like they have to because, I mean, you can't just give a uniques that are just like kind of like subpar to the ones already out. So like everyone's hyped and they want to get it this league. So uniques are definitely getting better, and it's just getting easier.
Katava's Feast has gone up by 100% in the last 7 days. What's going on there?
Build.
I think it's good, but I don't think it's.
What's Mathel playing? That might be your answer.
Is he
No,
playing with it?
I have no clue.
Mm,
Go watch his latest video. I will tell you.
I think his last video was like cast on crit or something silly or something. He failed at one or something.
someone can find out and confirm. Duology is here.
Not every build's a hit.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean that's the point of like exploring different types to fucking make one pop.
Someone had mentioned that no one's really doing the chaos recipes anymore because it's more about doing the fast clear speed than there's no chaos recipe meta anymore.
I feel like that's almost like a misnomer though.
Well, Lifting Nerd Bro I think is doing Katava's Feast.
There you go.
Malthel's playing a Fizz Wander.
Dude, Fizz Wanderers are strong.
Lifting Nerd is
Do
doing
so
a
much
Flicker.
damage.
Yeah, that's the way to
Flicker
go.
Raider with it makes sense.
That's
That's
what
pretty cool.
I should have did
It's not
that.
a bad weapon.
Yeah.
Wait, Fizz wands are in? Bye.
Fizz Wands, dude. Dakota's every league Dakota makes a Fizz Wander at the beginning just so we could do Dread Lake super quickly.
Well, I mean, Fizz Wander can actually push the end game. It's one of the higher potential damage outputs.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, but for a beginning of the league where you spend 4C on both of your weapons and you get like 400 XP per hour on Dried Lakes, you can't complain.
Yeah, for sure.
And it looks pretty.
It
I
does look
think-
very pretty.
I think, like, honestly, like with Assassin, it can go like pretty up there with the 100% more poison damage.
The
Hey,
barrage.
So
Yeah, the barrage, and you just trap.
That's what he does.
Yeah, they buffed Barrage, didn't they?
okay, so quick question. Do you guys think once the Xbox is up and running, think that's gonna have an effect on our economy? Like
No.
people
No.
not playing?
No,
I think the economy will stabilize better.
I don't think many people that are playing on the PC.
Are gonna actually play on the Xbox. There might be few.
I just feel like it's not as enriching of a play experience.
It's
And
like
I can tell you
saying
this: I do think one thing that will be gained from Xbox have to implement this. They have to is when you pick up an item of currency, it's going to pick up all currency. It has
Yeah,
to.
that'd be
'Cause
pretty.
nobody's
Sick.
going to sit there on an Xbox and pick up fucking 100 wisdom scrolls from a breach.
It's not gonna happen.
Nobody. I mean, nobody does it now, but that's something they should already add.
That cost breeze was nerfed. I'm sorry. Straz. That's why nobody wants it.
Oh no, okay. It was
Nerfed
nerfed to
so good.
0.25. It's like if you can crit 4 times a second, sure. But there's ways to maximize the output. You just have to think and use your brain.
well, I mean, it's just like it's not as good as the double dipping techniques. That's what it is.
Well, for sure, but
It's not your
I mean,
it's not your tier 1. That's why it's dip.
I disagree. It just depends on how you play it. Like, I wouldn't say there's a lot of tiers. Like, depending on how you do builds. Like
Have you
tons
not
of
seen
builds
the
can be viable.
AFK walking build?
Oh, sure.
Hey, so getting back on topic on the economy, does anybody have anything to add or want to say or anything? We're gonna
Let's look at Pub Ninja real quick. See what's going on.
You joined
know
the
the
perfect
bot.
lead. They did experience. Thanks,
Jack
Al.
the Axe is up.
Oh yeah, here's my last question for everybody. Do you guys think the economy is gonna bounce back and why?
It's gonna near the end of the league, it's just gonna start mimicking standard prices.
Pretty
Give it
much.
2 weeks. 2 weeks, X will be back.
Well, yeah,
I think
because in 2 weeks
it's gonna-
you only have 2 more weeks to play.
I think as we get closer to standard, it'll kind of assimilate with standard pricing, and then we can just prepare for next league.
Hey, thanks for watching, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed that discussion. Be sure to catch us next Monday right after lab runs for our next discussion. We're going to try to do a weekly segment on just discussing random game mechanics, maybe the economy, maybe crafting, just whatever's on our minds. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Be sure to subscribe, leave some comments down in the comment section below if you had any opinions about this. If you guys want to see anything for the next discussion, be sure to leave those down there as well.